And let's see if we can get this set up to point at Sudoku, or GNOME Sudoku. There we go. In that. All right. Now I've been told I need to make a change over on YouTube. Let me take a quick gander at that. Switch account. Rusty's Late Night Sudoku. Do not need the video on here. I need something else. Come on, there we go. Hey, it's midnight, according to my clock. All right, let's see. Up over to Studio. The objective here is I'm trying to set up two separate collections of channels. One for Sudoku and one for No Man's Sky. Haven't been playing nearly enough No Man's Sky lately, but this channel currently has 13 subscribers in YouTube. All right. And content. There we go. I think that's where I need to be. Live. I've got links to some very old content. All right. Come into here. We are streaming. That looks good. Not a playlist at this point. Public. Customization. Not what I was looking for. All right. Looks like we've got everything set up here, but it looks like YouTube might have useless information in it. Well, we'll see. All right. Switching back to the content I want to provide. Let's get this puzzle loaded up. We are doing two puzzles today. I'm doing the puzzle I should have done on Saturday, which is puzzle number 266, which is a hard puzzle, so it may take me a little while. We'll see. I'm also going to do puzzle 270, which is the Sunday puzzle. And yep, I should have done that on Sunday. But I'm now moving this, or calling this my late night channel. And I'm aiming to do streams on this after after midnight my time, which I'm treating as the end of the day for the posting, even if I don't get it exactly right. So we will see. All right, puzzle is loaded. Let's see if it's solvable and maybe get started on that. All right, and it's got a timer instead of saying, what? That doesn't look right. Okay, so it thinks everything's okay at this point. So now we've got one there. One of these two is going to be a 1. All right. One. Now we'll come back to that, I think. Okay, yep, we've got at least 1, 2 on the board, so we can mark the likely or candidate positions for 2 on the field. All right, if you are coming at me new from Twitch because Twitch has done something right and made some of this stuff discoverable, and you are looking for people playing Sudoku, welcome aboard. Do feel free to decide if you want to follow me or not. I am not pushing that in any ways. I do not plan on or have any plans to monetize this channel on either Twitch or YouTube. Twitch is generally a little bit less discoverable than YouTube is, but I've got it set up to do what do they call it? Make content a little bit more available, and maybe that will help people find the channel. I'm not here to market myself as a superior player of Sudoku. I happen to enjoy Sudoku. I enjoy sharing how badly I'm doing at Sudoku. If that's the case, I'm more than happy to take criticism, recommendations on where I can look for perhaps better gameplay techniques. I'm honestly entirely happy to get that kind of information on any game I play. I'm also a No Man's Sky player. If you've been seeing my channel over on No Man's Sky, or on YouTube, or you're on or on Twitch, you may end up being redirected to this channel for that reason. And I do hope you enjoy this channel as well. If you're not interested in it, that's perfectly fine. I'm not here to push it as the be-all, end-all by any means. I'm just here to have a good time, share some of my methods for solving puzzles like this, and hope that you enjoy that as well. If not, okay. It's not for everybody by any means. Nothing ever is. Okay, so for some reason I did not mark that as a possibility. That one needs to be marked. The one below does not. All right, 7s. And we got 3 of them here, 2 here, which means we're down to 2 here. Got 2 possibilities here. A few more over here. Looks like I've got 5 for now. And we got those 2 already. We got 6 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. And it looks like 4 possibilities for 7 here. 8s, we've got a couple of possibilities here. Over here we've got 2 possibilities at the moment. Let's keep the 7 though. had marked already. If I eliminated something like that elsewhere, we'll probably have to find it again. Now it looks like I've got 2 possibilities there. Up here, it looks like I've got 5 possibilities. And down here, I've got an 8 already filled in. All right, so we're down to 9s now. I got 3 possibilities for a 9 in this square for the moment. Here, I've got 2 possibilities. Up here, I've got 5 possibilities for now. And 5 in here. 2 possibilities here, so actually it's going to be 3 possibilities in there. Up here we've got 3 possibilities, and I've got a mess of them here. Alright, now we go through, do I have any singletons that I can leverage into solutions? Doesn't look like it right offhand. So now we do a little bit deeper. For example, I've got both both of these are 9, 2, so these 2 can't be 2. This can't be 9 or a 2, so that's going to be a 5. This can't be a 2 or a 9, so that's going to be 6. Not a 6 here, not a 2 here, not a 2 here. That means this is a 1 and a 3. Clean up the 5s down here and the 3 as well. In the square, so this is not a 5 anymore. Let's see, we are missing 3s here. So, not a 6 here, not a 3 there. Looks like this becomes our 3 here. This becomes a 7, a 2. Nope, not a 2 there. So I'm missing something else there. No. So it's not a 7 though. And it's not a 3. Got that already. 2s and 4s are above. So not a 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like maybe a 9. Nope, can't be a 9. So maybe this is, nope, this can't be a 3 either. So let's do a 3 here. Nope, can't be a 3 there. We've got a 3 in what looks like it should be the right place. Maybe what we should have is a 3 there and a 7 here. Then we can put the 9 up here. Nope, can't put a 9 there. All right. So that 3 is not a 3. This 3 is a 9. This can't be a 3, so this is a 3. Neither of these are 3s. We're missing, or we need a different number in these 2 then. Looks like that number would be potentially a 1. Nope, I've got a 1 already, so not a 1. And let's see, 2s. Maybe it's a 5 and this is a 3 down here. So that would be a 5, this would be an 8. Not a 5 here or here. That gets me down to a potentially a 2 in one of these 2. Okay. So, 9, 2 is correct there. 7, 4, 2, 7, 4, 2. So one of these 2 is 4. Looks like I've got one place for a 6 in the row. Is that correct? Yes, it is. So this becomes a 6. Here I've got a 2 in it. Is there anything else that can go there? 1. Blank is 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this is a 2. Not a 2 here or here. This one's going to be a 7. Turns this into a 2, not a 2 up here. And that turns this one into a 5. All right. So neither 5 or 2, that one's not going to be a 5, but, or maybe it's going to be a 5, we'll see. We got an 8 going in here, it looks like. And then I've got 2 places with a 9 in this column. What am I missing? It looks like I am missing a 1. Nope, I got a 1 here. 2. Problem is this can't be a 1 because this here took that out. Let's take this and this. We'll turn this into a 1. That can't be a 3, so I'm going to back out to pretty much the very beginning. I'm going to start with filling in from the 9s down. I'm not having good fortune with this, which means I probably missed several numbers that I should not have missed filling in. So we got a possible 9 here and here. Here we've got 3 possible 9s. Nope, not there. There. We got a 9 placed here, so one of these 5 could be a 9. And one of these 6 can be a 9. Although this can't be a 9, meaning one of these 2 is, so none of the, or 9, not one of these 3 are 9. Okay, so we've got 4 possibilities here, and 5 possibilities in here. Doesn't narrow it down enough to clear those out yet. So let's head on or take a look at some further ones. Okay, I do see that my text-to-speech closed captioning is not working again right now, so my apologies to anybody who's relying upon that. Oh, maybe once I've got a new system put together, we'll get that taken care of. Looking for places for 8s right now. We got 2 possibilities there, 2 possibilities here, and over here we've got 6 possibilities. All right, 7s now. We've got 1 there and 1 there, so 4 possibilities for a 7 here. 5 possibilities over here for the moment. 2 possibilities here. 4 possibilities here. 3 possibilities in this square. And looks like 6 possibilities here. And 3 down here. All right. Down to 6s. And we've got 2 possibilities sitting in the middle here. 3 possibilities here. 2 over here. 3 possibilities in here. And it looks like I've got 6 possibilities here, at least for now. Over here, I've got 4 possibilities. All right. Now we're looking at 5s. Got a 5 here and 1 up here. That says that one of these 4 are going to be a 5. I've got 3 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. Lots more possibilities here. Looks like all 5 places. Here we've got 6 possibilities. Down here I've got 2 possibilities. And I've got 4 for now in this square. All right, 4s. We've got 2 possible 4s here. 3 possibles up here. Already have one in this square. And there's one in this square, which means there's going to be one of these. There's going to be that one there because I've got one up here and one down here as well. So over here we've got a 4 going in there, which means these 2 are not a 4, and this one is. And did that solve anything else? Yes, it did. It says this one's going to be a 4. All right, 3s. We've got a 3 here and another one up here, saying that one of these two is going to be a 3 here. And one of these two is going to be a 3 here. Looks like I can have 2 possibilities here. Here we've got 5 possibilities for now. And I will reference for nows a lot of times because as we play, some of these will resolve out. All right, 2s. I've got 1, 2 on the board, so as a given. So we got 3 possibilities there, 3 possibilities here, 6 possibilities here, 4 possibilities here, 6 possibilities here, up here we've got 5 possibilities, and here we've got 5 possibilities as well. Alright, that takes care of the 2s. We're now down to the 1s. I've got a solve 1 there, another solve 1 here, and a solve 1 here. This all leaves me with a single solve 1 here. And now we can try again at solving the entire puzzle. Still have the 9-2 pair here, so this is not a 9. This is neither 9 or 2. That means this is a 6. This is not a 6. I got a 7-2 there, 7-2 here, so not a 7 here, not a 7 here. This one becomes a 3, and this one becomes a 9. 7-5 pair at the top means that none of the other squares or cells in the square can have a 7 or a 9, or a 7 or 5. Got 8, 2, 9 as possibilities there, which is all well and good. It doesn't help me much at the moment. Okay, we've got an 8 coming in here, and a 5 here. This does not look right. What am I missing here? 2s. These 2 are supposed to be 2s, not 3s. Yeah, that may work better. In that case, that can't be a 3. That is a 3. So neither 5 nor 3 here, which suggests to me that the 3 should be here, one of these 2, and this becomes a 2 with a 7, 2. Oh, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? All right, let's back up a little bit. All right, so this says that can't be here. This is, nope, not that. This has to be a 3. This one could be as well, but it can't be a 9. Could be a 7 though, couldn't it? Or can it? Well, in any case, this is our 2 here, based on what we've got on the board. So clean up those. We get a 7, 5, 7, 5, 6, 5, 3, 5, 3. It looks like this is a 6 and this is a 7. So not a 7 there. Got a 5, 3, 5, 3. This becomes a 2. And this becomes a 9 with a 3 here, 7 here. Not a... Okay. This is where one of these is actually a 2. Don't know which yet. We'll come back to that. So we get a 5, which turns this into a 3, and this becomes a 5. So not a 5 there, not a 5 there, or there, not a 2 here, neither 2 nor 6 there. That becomes a 9 and a 3 here. 5 and 6 will take care of there. 6, not 6, not 2, not 7 or 9, not an 8 either. Not a 7 there, not a 9 there, or there. I got a 7-5 pair here, so not a 7 or a 5 in the remaining here. That becomes a 2 with a breakage over there. Okay. Am I missing anything else? Does this become, that becomes not breakage, so this can be either a 7 or a 5. It looks like this is going to be a 5. 7, no. 7, no. All right. If I put a 5 in here, yep, that breaks that. And that breaks that. So, we are still stymied here. I'm thinking I got something else kind of borked. Go back and fill in through the 1s. Is that the last one? It is. Okay. So instead of dealing with the 9 3s here, actually we can take this 9 out and say that's a 9. All right, so neither of these are 9. Turns this into a 3. Says neither of these are going to be a 3, neither is that. So this one's going to be a 3. This one will be a 5 as a result. No. Missing here is the possibility of that being a 2. Do not know why that keeps going away, unless I never fill 2s into this square. Okay, neither of these are going to be a 2. One of these could be a 2. Not a 3 here. So 5 2, 7 5 2, 7 5 2. 6 2, 6 2 says neither of these can be a 2, which we knew. 7 6 2, 7 5 6 2, 5 2. Okay, that looks like it should be good at this point, but we will have to see. Up here we've got the 7 5 pair saying none of these could be 7s or 5s. 8 2 doesn't interact with anything at the moment. Got an 8 6, 7 8 6, 7 2 in this column. 9 2, 9 2, so not a 2, and also not a 9. So that makes this into an 8. Only thing in here at the moment is that 2. Is that a valid? It's potentially valid, but is it? Ah, yes, it is correct, because this is the only place we've got for a 9. So that becomes a 2. And this down here becomes a 7 with a 6 here and a 2 there. All right, clean up some of the red numbers here. So I've got a 7 and a 5 here with a pair of 8 6. It's not cleaning anything up right now, but maybe gets useful again soon. Clean up these red 9s that don't belong there. And this 5 that says that one of these is not actually a 6. All right. So we got a 6 there. One of these two one of these two. Since I've got two possibilities here, and this one's not one, we're going to go with the 6 there, which breaks that one. All right, back to the ones. All right, now we got the ones in place now. And let's try someplace else. So we know this is either a 5 or a 6. Let's assume for the moment that it is a 5 and see where that leads us. Because I am afraid we are running into a situation where I'm going to keep running into breakage until I find that place that is not actually broken. So this is a 2 now. All right, 7, 2, 7, 2, only things in there. However, that makes this into a 7. I'm going to do a quick verification on that. Is 7 the only thing there? Get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. So yes, this is error 7. Not a 7, not a 7, not a 7. This becomes a 2. So these are not a 2, not a 2, and not a 2. Got a 5, 3, 5, 3 pair, so this becomes a 7. And this becomes not a 5. That turns this into a 5. Saying that's going to be a 7 now. So over here we end up with a 9, and this becomes a 2. Not a 7, not a 2, not a 2, not a 9, not a 9. 7, 5, 7, 5 pair. It's a little different than we were getting before, but that's fine. 5, 3, 5, 3, 9, 2, 8, 9, 2, 8, 2, 9, 2, 6, 2, 6, 9, 2. All right. And for some reason that says that can't be a 9 up at the top. And it can't be a 2. All right, let's try this from the ground up again. We'll go with 1s. Actually, 1s end up being a solvable in this one, I think. No, maybe not. All right. That's going to be a 1. All right. That's where we're at with 1s. I may get these 4 1s solved later on. We'll see. 2s. I've got just the single 2 on the board. Now, some of you might ask if I ever use the hints feature of this game. My experience with hints is they tend to lead me into what the heck solutions. I'm not seeing or that in here, so what's going on? Whereas if I do go about it this way, it is not great in the perspective of it is not a fast solving solution system, but I usually do end up with a solution that I can say, yes, we got there legitimately. All right, so I've got 3 possible 3s here. And it looks like I've got 5 possible 3s here, which, okay, we'll go with that for now. And I've got 2 possible 3s. Oh, not a 3. Got a 3 up here already. Never mind. All right, 4s. I've got 3 possibilities for 4 here. Down here, I've got 2 possibilities. I've got 2 possibilities for 4. Nope. I've got a 4 solution there. Okay. And then up here, I've got another 4 solution, which, let's clear up these 7s. It's not a 7, that's a 4. Not a 4 there or there. This becomes a 4, not a 4 there. That becomes a 4, and now we've got 4s solved on the board. All right, 5. One of these 2 has to be a 5. Because none of these are, that means one of these 2 is a 5. And I don't have, I've got 2 possible places for 5 here, but they're not common, which means I can have up to 4 possibilities over here for a 5. All right, I've got 5 possibilities in here for a 5. And nothing blocking anything in this square, so 5 possibilities there as well. And then I've got 3 possibilities in here. All right, 6. And there are at least 3 on the board, I see. Not seeing any more, so one of these 2 is a 6. And by elimination, with that one there, it means that one of these 2 is a 6. Doesn't solve it for us, but does reduce the complexity a bit. One of these 2 is a 6, because this one can't be because of the one down here. And these 2 can't be because of this one. And also, this one blocks this one as well. All right, so I've got 2 possibilities for a 6 here. Let's clean up that 9 that doesn't belong there. And 3 possibilities for 6 here. Here in the middle, we've got 5 possibilities at the moment. All right, 7s. 2 possibilities for a 7 there. 4 possibilities up here. 4 possibilities here. Except that since none of these can be, one of these 2 has to be it. There are 2 possibilities there and 2 possibilities there. Up here, we've got 3 possibilities at the moment. And that means I've got 4 possibilities, or 5 possibilities in here. All right, I've got 4 possibilities here. And we've already got those marked. All right. How about here? We got marked in here. All right, let's look at 8s. One of these 2 is going to be an 8. I've got 4 possibilities in here now. 2 possibilities here. This one is not, or can't be, for 2 different reasons. I got 6 possibilities for an 8 in this square for now. And 2 possibilities for an 8 there. All right, let's come down here. I've got 4 possibilities for a 9 in here. No, 2 possibilities. One there and there. 3 possibilities for a 9 here. 4 possibilities up here. 5 possibilities for a 9 here. 3 here. two possibilities for a 9 here. And that means I've got 2 possibilities for a 9 there. All right, now let's see what we can do. Maybe I finally have everything that I would possibly need filled properly. All right, so let's see. We are down to a single place for a 1 there now, which means we've got a 1 here and not here. So that starts narrowing, they're tidying things up a little bit. Not a lot, because there were only 4 possible places and one of them got filled with a 4. All right. So we get a 6, 2, 5, 7, 2, 5, 6, 5, 7, 2. Let's go with the 6, 5 here. We've been using we tried the 5 last time around. Let's go with the 6. Gets us the 8 and the 5 here with a 9, 3 pair remaining here. So no 9s or 3s in there. Okay. Doesn't change anything outside of that. However, we do get a 7 and a 6 here out of the total exchange. We'll see if that becomes useful as well. So 6, 2, nope. We got a standalone 8 in the column here. So let's mark that as an 8. And that takes care of most of the 8s. I've still got a few around. Okay. This was a 2, so not a 2 there or up here. I got 3 possibilities there. Neither of these are going to be a 2 or this one for now, or at this point. 5, 3 pair says not a 5 there or there. That means this is a 7 and this is a 6. Up here we get a 5 out of that mix, and so we can clean up some 5s around the board. Looks like this becomes our 5 in this square. Not a 7 there or there, not a 2 there or a 6 there, not a 2 in either of these. But this is also, that gets us down to a 9, 3 pair, so this becomes a 6. This, can't be a 9. This one's going to be a 9. Got a 7, 3 possibility here, but I've got a 7 up here. Says this is going to be a 3. This is going to be a 9. This is going to be a 2. So that's broken. All right, let's go back to that 6 and convert it into a 5 and see if we get any further with that. We got pretty far down the chain here before we discovered the breakage. So not a 6, let's give it tell it it's a 5 and see what that does for us. So now I've got a 7, 2 pair at the top and bottom, so this becomes a 6 in the middle here. And we can clean up that 6, get a 9, 2, 3 triplet there, well, 9, 2 in the third place. Let's see, not a 6 there. Neither of these become a 5. Neither of these are a 5. Not a 5 here or here, so that's going to become an 8. This now becomes a 6. Not an 8, not an 8 or 6. Again, we've got the 9, 3 combination there, but let's clean up this square. 7 and a 5. 2 down here. 9. 7, 3, 7, 6, 7, 3. So this is 6 that is the least partner there. not a 2's around here, so this is a 7. That turns this into a 3, and this is 7. Over here we end up with a 9 and a 5, a 2 and a 3. So that becomes an 8 and a 5. 2, 3 pair, don't know about yet. We'll see what we get. Clean up some of the extras. And up here is not a 7, that's going to be a 2, so we can clean up this to as a 9, 7, and a 5. All right, now we've got a 9 and a 5 here with a 2 over here. Oop, no. 7 here. 2 and 8. Doesn't affect anything there, but it does turn that into a 7. Now I've got 2 possibilities for a 2 down here. Let's see what happens when we take care of some of these other things first. Fine. Not a 6, not a 6, not a 7 or 2, not a 2 or 9. That means this is a 3. Not a 9, not a 7 or 9. This becomes a 9. 3 here and 9. So now I've got those 2 as possible 2's, a 2, 3 possible there. So this one becomes a 2 because 3 is blocked, and that makes that into a 3. So we can clean up these 2's, and this one up here as well. This becomes a 2, 2, not a 3, and this becomes a 6. So we've got an 8 and a 7 there. A 5 and a 6, 2 and 8, 2 here, and we finish this up with a 1. Ouch! 41 minutes to complete that one. 41 minutes and 10 seconds. So let me go up there, note that, and I'll follow up with a bit of information when I get that, or with the solution when I get the stream completed. All right.